understand.
And you got an anti-American sentiment running around the world right now.
That's what it is. But I will say this, though. I will blame the U.S. World Cup bid committee because they could have put a little more passion into their speeches. Morgan Freeman, fantastic. Landon Donovan, the top players of the U.S. national team.
Didn't Morgan Freeman screw up in his speech? He had missed the page?
Yes, he missed the page.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
Well,
you can give him a mulligan for that one.
Yeah, I know.
But,
well, anyway, so that's about enough for now. We'll see what happens with that, but it's a long ways off.
And the
soccer.
Yeah.
In the United States, I think we need to have it here a couple times to stir up more interest in this country.
Exactly.
I think the game itself needs its own adjustments. We have to put more passion in the games, more goals.
Well,
people love scoring.
I know, but still, though, the purists will come to tell you it has to stay the way it is.
What is a person that's...
There's got to be a common ground somewhere.
What is an average, non-educated soccer watcher like myself think about soccer? Well... Usually the games usually end in 1-0.
I want it nice.
Or sometimes
1-0.
Or 1-0 or a 0-0 tie.
I want it nice and clean there.
Gotcha.
The thing is, he's right. They want a little bit more action. Maybe if you shorten up the fields a little bit or something like that, or you got to do something to open up the game a little bit because people love to see wide open.
I understand that, but
hockey did it to a point.
To a point, but the thing is, still, it's ruined hockey just a little bit.
I don't know. I think it made the game great.
You shorten the neutral zone to have all this offense in the offensive zones.
You took out the offside penalties. Keep the play going.
The offsides are still going.
So I'm saying
they got rid of the two.
I mean the icings. So to open up the game, and the game has opened up.
No, I understand that. But still, though, there has to be more, though. And here's the thing.
And hockey's got some nice young talent. Ovechkin and those guys.
Very, very true. But here's the thing about hockey right now at the NHL: the rinks are still going to be smaller than the international rinks in Europe. For the Olympic hockey and everything else that goes out over there. But the point is that the offensive zones have gotten so big, the offensive defensemen are not as reliable or not as needed as normally like Brian Leach played.
Or your Scott Niedermayer.
Or Ray Bourque.
Yeah.
Or Scott Niedermayer.
Yeah.
Because there's too much room in the offensive zone. I think what they should do is, I'm not saying they should go back to where it was, shorten it a little bit more, at least that have the offensive defensemen feel more important instead of just holding onto the puck, ragging it here and there, and passing it around.
Yeah, dump and chase. Yeah, I know.
Because now the offensive defenseman...
That's probably why Scott Niedermayer retired a little earlier than he should have.
How about putting boards around a soccer field so you have these guys smashing into the boards like you do in hockey?
That's indoor soccer.
I know. We should have that.
Do that a little bit.
Let's have, let's have some goons in soccer now. Anyway,
we already have goons in soccer.
Let's go to college
midfielders.
Let's go to college football. We got a lot to talk about here. We got the Oregon State game. We got the Auburn South Carolina game.
I was going to say yes. Thank goodness Cam Newton was not found guilty for those whatever his dad did.
Well, let's touch on that a little bit here now because I think
seriously though. I mean the kid. I mean look at what this kid's doing for Auburn. I mean, you never thought you'd see Auburn have such a fantastic season. And now, if Auburn has the opportunity to win the next game, they are eligible for the BCS championship game.
Right.
And thank goodness that he is eligible to play.
Well, here's the thing. Tuesday,
yes,
it was done very quietly. Auburn suspended him from the team. Right? Because the NCAA had found out that, yes, there is evidence his father was shaking down Mississippi State.
Right.
All right?
Of course.
Now,
Auburn.
Auburn.
Cam won, it was going to go in the first place.
Yeah, we wanted to go in the first place. Now, Auburn, when they saw the money wasn't there, then they changed their minds. Auburn suspended Cam Newton Tuesday on their own because they knew the NCAA was going to come down on him because it turned out, yes, his father was doing some negotiating behind the scenes. They asked the NCAA on their own for an appeal of their own decision to suspend him. NCAA looked at it and said, okay, there was shenanigans going on here behind the scenes, but we don't have any evidence that Cam himself had any knowledge of it, which I find is really, I mean, come on. He didn't know what his father was doing behind the scenes. I mean, why did his father try to steer him here and then steer him over to Auburn? So anyway, the NCAA has no hard evidence. Now, here's my take. I think if TCU was not involved in this whole situation, I think there's a chance he would have been suspended because the NCAA, I think, wants TCU in the title game. I think they are fearful that if he's not playing against South Carolina, they lose. What was that?
That was him.
Sorry about that.
South Carolina.
What are you doing?
They lose to South Carolina.
Right.
They can't get TCU out of the title game no more. Now it's
Right.
going to be TCU against Oregon.
Right.
And God forbid Oregon loses. Oh, my God. Now
I know.
everything goes up in the air.
Exactly.
But I think that had a lot to do with it. I think that they would have, if there was no TCU involved, and let's say if Auburn loses, then you have a title game of Stanford or maybe Wisconsin against Oregon.
Yeah.
Makes it a little more palatable to the NCAA.
Absolutely.
That's just my opinion.
Do you
I hope I'm wrong.
Do you think that in order to get really what they want, let's say just so happens Oregon and Auburn both lose.
Yeah.
What if
I know where you're going.
they have Stanford and Wisconsin leapfrog,
My God.
excuse me for the pun, leapfrog the Horned Frogs?
Yeah.